Welcome back, COSA 50 and 650 folks. Professor Almeida here. Happy Thursday, everyone. And because it is Thursday, that means I'm going to be in the Canvas course chat from 9 a.m. until noon Pacific time. So feel free to drop into the chat if you have questions. You can also message me privately in the Canvas inbox. Coming up, we're going to talk about the game plan for weeks 7 and 8. But before we do, I want to go over some housekeeping items. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just dive right into Canvas here. I want to start with your reminder here about your word assignments. So there are 9 word assignments in total over weeks 5 and 6, 3 chapters, and in each chapter you have your training sim, project, and exam. Yesterday, my Monday, Wednesday folks had class time to take their exams, and for my Tuesday, Thursday folks, later on today, I'll see you for your exams. Now, it's a free country, and you can choose whether to come to class or if you're in class to follow along and do the work. But since both of my COSA 50 sections have about 20 something students, I have a pretty good idea of where everyone is at. So if you're one of the folks who stopped showing up to class, or if you're in class, you're just sitting there doing nothing, I really hope that you start participating soon because, again, with 9 assignments, it's very easy to fall behind. Now, I understand that TFS may have lulled some of you into a false sense of security, and you have to remember this is a 4-unit class, and at the pace we're going with the material we have to cover, it's real easy to fall behind. So make sure that you are keeping up. Now, with that said, if you need to get support, I just want to remind all of you again, if you need to get support, you do have the campus resources page here in the welcome module, and we'll start with COS tech support. Okay, if you need to go to the computer labs, maybe you don't have a Windows PC at home, or for whatever reason you cannot install Microsoft 365, stop by the computer labs, talk to our instructional assistants, especially if you are struggling with the word assignments. Now, again, make sure that you are pacing yourself because the word projects do take about 30 to 45 minutes to complete. I know in class it takes a little bit longer because I'm explaining everything as we're going along, but do allow yourself 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour if necessary, to complete each project. And this is again why I'm telling you right now, you really don't want to fall behind in this class. Additionally, you have training sims, which are the easiest points to earn. You really don't want to leave those points on the table. I've been noticing a lot of folks have been skipping out on the training sims. You cannot go back for late credit on those training sims. So again, make sure that you're not leaving easy points on the table. But again, if you are struggling with your projects, reach out to COS Tech Support. If you're having issues with installing Microsoft 365, reach out to the Student Tech Help Desk. And just as a reminder on how to install Microsoft 365 on your Windows PC, first of all, if you already have Microsoft Office installed, you want to uninstall that, especially if you don't have Microsoft Access. But if you don't have Office or Microsoft 365, here's what you do. From your Viking portal, click or tap on Microsoft 365. You're going to log in with your student ID at lbcc.edu. Instructions are in the syllabus on how to do this, by the way. When you're at your Copilot dashboard, go to Apps, and then from there, install apps, Microsoft 365 apps, and then you should see install Office. And this is the button you want to click right here. The installer is going to download, launch the installer, follow the prompts to complete installation. And again, if you run into issues, please reach out to the Student Technology Help Desk. They're on the 2nd floor of the library. Here's their contact information. Now, if you need to get tutoring for COSA 50, okay, that's done through MDSC. make sure that you take a look at the schedule because it does change pretty often. Okay, so if you scroll down, here's COSA 50 at LAC, and then this is COSA 50 if you want to meet with a tutor online. So you can see that right here. Don't wait until the weekend when it's too late to seek out support. Okay, I can't stress this enough. Again, if you're falling behind, now would be a good time to start participating because you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, so again, please give yourself time and make sure that you are coming to class and fully participating. All right, so with that said, let's talk about the game plan for weeks 7 and 8. We're going to be moving on to PowerPoint. And again, you don't want to be lulled into a false sense of security, especially for those of you who've used PowerPoint in the past. PowerPoint is presentation software. And just like with Word, we're covering the first 3 chapters. You're going to see that there's a whole lot you can do with PowerPoint. Let's go ahead and dive into what the game plan is going to be. All right, so back to the modules page here. I'm going to scroll on down. Again, don't forget weeks 5 and 6. Make sure you get your Word assignments turned in on time. Weeks 7 and 8 will open starting Monday, October 6th. Now, Monday or Tuesday, October 6th or October 7th, we will be going over the PowerPoint Chapter 1 project in class. And then in your downtime, you'll work on your PowerPoint Chapter 1 training. A lot you will see in PowerPoint Chapter 1 on creating and editing presentations with pictures. You've seen it before with Word, except there will be some twists here and there because now we're dealing with presentation software instead of word processing. On Wednesday the 8th or Thursday the 9th, depending on your section, we will go over PowerPoint Chapter 2 in class. Again, we will work on the project together and you'll have downtime to work on your training. Monday, October 13th or Tuesday, October 14th, Chapter 3. And then Wednesday the 15th or Thursday the 16th, you'll have the entire class meeting to work on your exams. And then finally, I have an optional feedback forum for you to tell me what's working and what isn't when it comes to MindTap and SAM. For this semester, we recently moved to Office 2024, and I would appreciate some feedback so I can pass it along to our publisher. One important note here, and this has to do with the PowerPoint Chapter 3 project that we're going to cover on Monday the 13th or Tuesday the 14th. I looked into the PowerPoint 3 project and there's an issue with the project. Now, if you go to watch my walkthrough video, you're going to see what that issue is, and it has to do with step 8. You could see here's the slide in question. This is what you should be doing, so be careful when you watch that walkthrough video. And again, I will point it out to you in class. So like I said at the beginning of the video, it is a free country. You do make that choice by walking in through the door, and you also make a choice whether or not you choose to complete assignments. Okay, especially for those of you in the dual enrollment class. There are deadlines, and again, because it's a small group, I can see where everyone is at, and deadlines have real world consequences, as you can see in the news right now at the federal level. So again, let's make sure that we're staying on top of things. And with that, enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see the Tuesday, Thursday folks later today. Take care of yourselves out there. Seek out support if you need it, and I'll see you in class. Thanks for watching.